Hi, you have come to the Rockstar Underground Lounge, and this is Angelina Greene, the bad girl, and I have with me the one and only BRION Gamboa. What a name.
Hello.
So happy to have you here. We're very honored and very excited to hear about your new release that released today. Is that correct? Soul Divided.
We did a soft release Saturday, but yeah, officially it's out today, and more effectively it'll be out everywhere. Well, it's funny, it's out in a lot of places already, but really Monday it'll drop completely. But you know, a lot of the platforms have already picked it up, so we ran with it.
Awesome. That's
We
great.
bubbled it out a little bit.
Yeah.
We were just excited, you know.
Yeah, I saw a clip and I've heard it, so it sounds awesome, and it's a very awesome song. And I wanted to talk about BOA music, B.O.A, Breath of Ashes.
Breath of Ashes, that's right.
Yeah, how'd you get that name?
So it's a funny story. Well, it's kind of a play on a few things, but part of it was I kept having a bunch of people tell me, why don't you name it your last name? And to me, that just seemed, I don't know, man. I just couldn't do it. You know, a lot of people have, and it works great. They have cooler names than I do, I think, but I have many friends that the band is named after their last name. But to me, I just felt like the BOA part of it was kind of cool. And but I had that name rolling around in my head for a while. And I was like, gosh, you know, it's just really cool. And then I'm kind of a history buff, you know. So if you look back in the historical context of Breath of Ashes and what that could mean, different meanings of that, it's actually really awesome, and it's very fitting for us with the type of songs we write and the feel of the band. So yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell without going, you know,
well,
down the rabbit hole.
The boa constrictor, I noticed the logo, it was really cool. And I don't know if you know it or not, but a boa constrictor is more than one species of snake.
Yes,
so it just keeps getting deeper and deeper.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. You know, like I thought I knew a lot about, like, when we picked the name and whatever and everything, but since we've picked it, then I've gone down the rabbit hole even further, and it's like endless. And I guess that's true with anything. I mean, if you're looking for stuff, you're going to find it. But it's cool. It's fitting, and I feel like the name fits the sound. If that's a thing, it just seems like it.
Yeah, it does. It is very wicked, I guess, sounding in the good sense of wicked, like back in the 90s, we say, oh man, that's wicked. Yeah. That's cool,
like the back east wicked. That's wicked awesome. Yeah.
And also I wanted to find out more about, are you going to have an EP? Will there be an album? Kind of, what direction are you going in with your band?
There is. This is the first release off of an album entitled Unconstricted. So there are 9 more tracks to come. So it's a 10-track record. Wow. And we'll be putting out a few singles. We're looking at probably March of 25 when that comes out. Maybe sooner, but probably March of 25 with the full album.
Okay, great. So I know you laid down vocals for Mick Mars on his solo project. So I was interested to know the names of all the players you have in your band.
Yeah, so we have great players in this band. They're so awesome. I'll start with Martin Motnick. He's the bass player for Accept, and they've been on tour. They put out a great new record this year. It's fantastic, actually, and it's done really well for them. But Martin is an exceptional bass player. He's a great singer, super proficient musician, man, and just an all-around nice guy. Like he's the real deal. On drums, we have Chase Lacombe, and Chase Lacombe plays for Kerosene Shores, which is a great metal band. I guess you would call them kind of new metal or something, but they're fantastic. We have Max Bloy Rossetti, and Max is kind of famous already, like for he has a YouTube channel. It's like guitar tutorials.
Okay.
Because he's just I mean, he's just like a prodigy. He's unbelievable. He can play everything from metal to he can chicken pick. He can do like it doesn't matter what you put in front of him with guitar, and he's just excellent at it, and a super sweet guy. So I have a bunch of great guys, and then I was fortunate enough on Soul Divide that a dear friend of mine, Paul Taylor, who I worked with on the Mick record, and we've worked together on other things before. He played keys on that song.
Okay.
And I think we'll be having him do keys on some other songs too, at least for the recordings. And everybody knows Paul. I mean, he plays for Winger, and he's played for Alice Cooper, and you name it. Like anybody who's played with him, but he's fantastic. And yeah, that was really nice of him. He was totally down to do it, and he did a fantastic job. So.
And the video, so is the video out now that the song is out, or is that coming next?
The video is out. You can go to YouTube. You can go to the B.O.A Music Official YouTube channel and check out Soul Divide. It is out. So, and it's really pretty much out on all the streaming platforms. If you go to our website, www.breathofashes.com, you can download the song now. The video is also up on there. Yeah, we had a fun time making that one.
I saw a little bit of it.
You haven't seen the whole thing? Oh,
I haven't seen the whole thing. I just saw the teaser. I wanted to be surprised.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
I love anticipation, and I knew I had this meeting with you, so I wanted to be inquisitive and not know. You know.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about it. You know, we're very excited because when I wrote that song, I had kind of a specific vision in mind. It was this character that, and it's not like a new thing. It's been done in a million different ways before, whether it's movies or whatever. And I'm sure many people have written about it. I love kind of getting in depth with the concept of when somebody wants to change internally. Like they're changing their soul. They're changing the course of what their character has been thus far. And I just think that's crazy interesting. So when I wrote this song, I had envisioned a person that was, on the seedy side of things, on the dark side of things, and probably always having a bit of an internal conflict with that.
Yeah.
Being that way, or being, maybe it's their profession or what they have to do. And then at some point the switch flips and they've got to change. They want something, they want some sense of normalcy and good. And, it's kind of like being pulled from the dark to the light. And I love that kind of transformation story. And so it was in depth, right? And all we could think was, how do we get this across? You got the music and you got the lyrics but how do we really get it across to our audience? And it just kept popping up in my head. Like, we got to make a movie. Yeah. We have to make a movie. And that's what we did. We made a mini movie and then had the band tell the story. So when you're watching it, that's what you're seeing. So imagine a female version of like a John Wick movie.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
wow.
So without giving everything away, and there's a twist at the end, but that's really what it comes down to. And I mean, we did it fairly quickly, and there was just a lot of great people involved, a lot of great people that came together to help us out on this. And I don't know, we're happy with it. I hope the audience likes it. You never know. You put things out and you don't know what's going to happen, but we're happy.
That's
it told
interesting.
The story for us.
It's interesting to me that you did it from a female perspective, as the female being the bad guy.
Well, it was funny. Like, when you really listen to the lyrics and everything, I kept thinking, and I know there's a lot of female movies kind of like that, but it's interesting to me. A male, you expect to be masculine, you expect to be this, kind of tough
Hard.
and here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not to say males aren't emotional and they have their, that's not what I'm saying. I think it's very interesting because women can contemplate more things in the respect of what is normal, what is like a wholesome life to them. Maybe it's kids, maybe it's a family,
Right.
And yes, we can, as males, we can choose to do that, but we don't have the physical power to carry one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I
It is
think
life changing for sure.
I thought it was a cool perspective on it.
Yeah,
And
and I love that Soul Divided, and it really makes me think about when I had my first child. I've got two daughters, and the most beautiful thing was that right after I had her, they put her in this little plastic box, at the hospital
sure,
with a blanket and rolled her right beside of me. And it was 19 hours of labor, so we were just exhausted and we both fell asleep.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, I woke up like that and opened my eyes, and so did she. And to me, that was soul divided. It was like that was the definition, really. We were still connected to wake up and see each other and at the same time and look and be like, okay, she's still there. And then we both of us just went right back to sleep.
Well, exactly. So the title, right?
Yeah.
Because it had gone through a few things. Originally it was Soul Divine. And why I said that is because how do you make a soul divine, right? Because I was thinking of this transformation, the dark coming out of that type of life. But divide, the word divide, it's like, when there's a rift. And so this person, they probably, if they're going to flip, they probably always had that seed in there. So that's why we called it Soul Divide, because there's a rift, there's a divide within the soul that it's, some of it's dark and some of it's not dark. And how do we tip that pendulum over? What choices do we have to make to do it? And this mini movie video takes place basically between 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Even though there's a long backstory, you kind of get that right off the bat.
A lot can happen in just an hour.
Right. So
your
over
whole
the course of the night, our character in this story over the course of a night has to make some tough decisions, and then has to figure out a way to actually execute those decisions.
Right.
And that's all I'll give
That's
you.
very interesting. I'm going to watch it as soon as we get off of here now. I mean, it's just killing me, and I'm sure the audience will too.
I hope, I hope so. I mean, obviously I'm not
you're a fabulous vocalist. You're a wonderful writer. I just give you a lot of props. I was very honored to meet you and do this interview, and very excited about what you have coming, in the future as well, lyrically, musically.
We are too. There's some great things being laid down, and I'm really excited. You can't there's no guarantee with an audience, and you can't ever predict what someone will attach to or what they like or don't like, and you can't go at it that way. You can't. You just have to be kind of true to who you are, and you got to write what you love and play what you love and play it with people you love, right?
And I agree. And these messages that are given to us, I believe, lyrically, spiritually, are like time bombs. You never know when they'll go off.
Right.
It's actually planting seeds, and sometimes if it gets in the right ground, or there's water here and the right ground here, it'll grow somewhere. I've seen with my own music and others people's music, especially timeless pieces that maybe one song doesn't pick up for a while, and then all of a sudden the times will change, what the whole world is going through, and that song will spark because there's a need for it. I believe that music is medicine, and that everything that comes out is
I was just gonna say, isn't that the beautiful thing about music? Like
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't matter what's happening in the world. People always attach to music, rhythm, melody, lyrics. I mean, it's a powerful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and
It's an international language,
by far.
That's, I mean, how we communicated when we couldn't even communicate,
Right.
It's brought people together for many years.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, I thank you so much, Brian Gamboa, for coming in to Rockstar
Thank you for
Underground
having me.
Lounge. Yeah, and I'll get this out. I want to do a little promo for it, so get it out with your song, and that will just be awesome.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate you taking the time to do that.
You're welcome. Thank you. I know you're busy. Thank you so much.
You bet. See you soon.
All right. Peace.
Survivor, will I be the sorcerer? Will I be the heartless martyr? Every life I've tortured, giving me immortal bloodlines. Can I bleed enough to die? Never free the thoughts in my standing last in line. When the world is taking all my wishes, I beg for freedom. Friends you now will destroy this feeling that lives in me. Hey, you let my soul divine. It's been waiting. Honesty is all I wanted. Breaking down